The moment that headline appeared online, it sent shockwaves across social media. People were not simply reading the news, they were trying to make sense of it. The words "Remy Ma wins $30 million" spread rapidly across timelines, blogs, entertainment pages, and comment sections. Within minutes, fans, critics, and casual observers were all talking about the same thing. What seemed like a major financial victory quickly became something much bigger. It opened the door to questions about a relationship that many people had admired for years. For a long time, Remy Ma and Papoose were viewed as one of hip-hop's strongest couples. Their story was often used as an example of loyalty, dedication, and perseverance. They had faced challenges that would have ended many relationships. Through legal troubles, time apart, career struggles, public pressure, and personal hardships, they always appeared to find a way to stay together. Their journey became a symbol of commitment in an industry where relationships often seem temporary. Papoose especially earned respect from fans because of how devoted he appeared to be. He stood by Remy during some of the most difficult periods of her life. He defended her publicly, supported her privately, and remained by her side when many others might have walked away. Because of that, people didn't just see them as a married couple. They saw them as proof that genuine love could survive almost anything. That is why the reports surrounding the $30 million settlement created such a strong reaction. It wasn't really about the amount of money. The number itself grabbed attention, but what it seemed to represent was far more important. For many people, it felt like the end of an era. Suddenly, the image of a relationship that had once seemed unbreakable was being questioned. As discussions spread online, many fans began looking back at past moments through a different lens. Small details that once seemed insignificant now appeared more meaningful. Public appearances that felt slightly distant. Social media interactions that seemed less frequent. Interviews where certain topics were avoided. At the time, most people assumed these were normal changes that happen in long-term relationships. Now, some wondered if they were signs of deeper issues that had been hidden from public view. The silence that followed only added to the speculation. Neither side rushed to address every rumor circulating online. There were no immediate explanations that could settle the growing curiosity. In celebrity culture, silence often becomes its own story. When public figures choose not to speak, people start creating their own theories to fill the empty space. According to various reports and online discussions, those close to the situation described Papoose as deeply affected by everything that was happening. Not necessarily because of the financial outcome itself, but because of what it symbolized. Some suggested that he viewed the situation as the closing chapter of a relationship that had defined a major part of his life. If those reports are true, it would explain why there was no dramatic public reaction. Sometimes disappointment is not expressed through anger. Sometimes it appears as quiet reflection. Many people can relate to that kind of feeling. The end of a relationship is rarely just about losing another person. It can also mean losing the future you imagined together. It can mean accepting that a story you believed would continue forever has reached its final pages. For someone who invested years of love, energy, and commitment into a relationship, that realization can be difficult to process. As more conversations unfolded online, social media quickly divided into different groups. Some people supported Remy Ma, arguing that she deserved happiness, independence, and recognition for her own accomplishments. They viewed the reported outcome as a sign of strength and personal growth. Others focused on Papoose's years of loyalty and dedication. They pointed to the sacrifices he appeared to make throughout their relationship and argued that those efforts should not be forgotten. The debate became increasingly emotional because both sides had passionate supporters. Every new rumor sparked another wave of discussions. Every old interview was re-examined. Every photograph and social media post became evidence for one theory or another. People searched for clues, trying to understand when things may have started changing behind the scenes. What made the situation particularly fascinating was how different it looked depending on who was telling the story. Some saw empowerment. Others saw heartbreak. Some viewed it as a new beginning, while others viewed it as a painful ending. The truth, as is often the case, may be far more complicated than any headline can capture. At its core, this story is not simply about money, legal decisions, or celebrity drama. It is about two people whose relationship became larger than themselves in the eyes of the public. Fans spent years believing in the image they presented. When that image began to crack, the reaction was intense because people felt emotionally invested in the outcome. Whether the rumors prove accurate or not, one thing is certain. The headline sparked a conversation that reached far beyond a courtroom or financial settlement. It forced people to rethink a relationship they once considered untouchable. What initially looked like a major victory quickly became the center of a much larger discussion about loyalty, sacrifice, love, change, and the reality behind public appearances. As the internet continues to speculate and search for answers, many questions remain unanswered. What really happened behind closed doors? How long had things been changing? And what comes next for both Remy Ma and Papoose? Until those answers become clear, the story will continue to dominate conversations, leaving fans wondering whether the relationship they admired for so many years was truly as strong as it appeared, or if the warning signs had been there all along. As the story continued to spread across social media, people started digging into the past looking for answers. Old interviews suddenly became important again. Clips that had been forgotten for years were being shared everywhere. Fans replayed videos, studied body language, and examined conversations that once seemed completely normal. Every pause, every facial expression, and every comment was being viewed through a new lens. It felt as if the public had turned into investigators, searching for clues about what may have really been happening behind the scenes. Many people pointed to moments that didn't seem significant at the time but now appeared different. A short answer during an interview, a social media caption that suddenly felt more meaningful, a public appearance where the chemistry between them looked slightly different than before. Whether those observations were accurate or simply the result of hindsight, they fueled endless discussion online. As more people joined the conversation, attention shifted away from the reported settlement itself. The money was no longer the main focus. Instead, the public became interested in what may have led to this point. Rumors began circulating that problems had existed long before any legal developments became public. According to various online discussions, some people believed tension had been building quietly for years. These weren't claims of one dramatic event. Instead, they were stories about small issues that may have slowly grown over time. People started talking about alleged disagreements, emotional distance, and private struggles that were never visible to fans. Some of these stories came from anonymous sources. Others came from speculation shared across social media platforms. Whether the claims were true, partially true, or completely exaggerated, they quickly became part of the larger conversation. The situation had evolved into something much bigger than a single headline. Eventually, Remy Ma began responding to some of the growing speculation. She addressed certain assumptions being made online and expressed frustration about how quickly people were judging a relationship they knew very little about. From her perspective, many people were creating stories based on limited information. She seemed frustrated by the way strangers were attempting to rewrite years of her personal life using only short clips, rumors, and internet theories. The more she spoke, the more complicated the situation became. What initially appeared to be a simple story suddenly revealed multiple layers. It was no longer about winners and losers. It became a debate about reality versus perception. People began asking whether the public ever truly knew what their relationship was like, or whether they had simply believed a carefully constructed image. Meanwhile, Papoose eventually shared his own perspective. His response was not explosive or dramatic. Instead, he spoke about feeling misunderstood and reflected on challenges that he believed had existed for a long time. He discussed sacrifices he had made and struggles that many people never saw. His comments painted a very different picture from the one some fans had created in their minds. With both sides speaking, the situation became even more divided. Supporters of Remy Ma believed she was finally telling her truth after years of carrying burdens that the public never understood. Supporters of Papoose felt that his loyalty and dedication were being overlooked. Instead of creating clarity, the competing narratives made everything more confusing. As a result, social media became increasingly polarized. Every interview, photograph, and public appearance was examined again. Fans searched for evidence that supported their preferred version of events. Comment sections became filled with arguments. Some people defended Remy passionately. Others stood firmly behind Papoose. Very few discussions remained neutral. Lost in all of the online debate was one important fact. Beyond the headlines and rumors, These were still two real people who had spent years building a life together. Their relationship included memories, experiences, sacrifices, victories, disappointments, and personal moments that were never shared with the public. Those private experiences could never be fully understood through social media posts or entertainment blogs. People close to the situation reportedly suggested that both individuals were dealing with difficult emotions. For Remy Ma, being viewed as strong and independent may have come with personal challenges that outsiders could not see. For Papoose, carrying the public image of unwavering loyalty may have created expectations that were difficult to live up to over time. Both realities could exist at the same time. As the story developed, even more rumors began emerging. New names were connected to the situation. Speculation about other relationships spread across social media. More public figures became linked to the conversation, whether they wanted to be involved or not. At that point, the story seemed to take on a life of its own. The problem was that many people stopped focusing on facts. The discussion became driven by assumptions, theories, and emotional reactions. In today's entertainment culture, stories often move faster than verification. By the time accurate information appears, millions of people have already formed strong opinions. With every new claim, the public became more invested. What many fans were witnessing was not simply the end of a relationship. They were watching the collapse of a partnership that had once symbolized loyalty and resilience within hip-hop culture. That emotional investment made it difficult for people to accept that the truth might be far more complicated than either side's supporters wanted to believe. One thing became increasingly clear throughout the entire situation. There was no simple explanation. No single interview could answer every question. No statement could completely stop the speculation. Every time it seemed like the public was finally getting clarity, another rumor emerged and restarted the debate. Even now, people continue discussing old moments, searching for hidden meaning in past interviews, and waiting for new information. Silence often creates even more curiosity. When public figures choose not to respond, many assume there must be more happening behind the scenes. The biggest question is no longer about money, legal matters, or social media posts. The question many people are asking is how a couple once celebrated as a symbol of unity ended up at the center of such a public and emotional controversy. That question continues to drive interest in the story. And if recent events have shown anything, it is that this situation may not be over yet. Every update has shifted public opinion in a different direction. One statement changes everything. One interview creates new questions. One social media post starts another wave of debate. That is why so many people remain focused on what happens next. For now, the internet remains divided. Some see empowerment and personal growth. Others see loyalty and sacrifice being overlooked. Between those viewpoints sits a much more complicated reality that only the people directly involved truly understand. Until more information emerges, the discussions will continue, the theories will grow, and fans will keep wondering whether the biggest revelation is still waiting to come.